Hey everyone, I am the Director of Customer Success here at Followup. If you haven't met me before, it's so nice to be with you today. We're going to talk about finishing the year on top and what you might be looking for in your system as you close out year-end reporting or prepare for 2026 as you're figuring out what goals you might have as a company moving forward into next year. So these are some of the most common questions we get around here are like, how do I assign my team a quota? I want to change what they need to bid or be awarded next year. Or how do I send everyone a holiday card? I want to send everybody we worked with a holiday card or everyone we made contact with. So we're just going to dive into some of those things. And if there is something that you're like, I've really got to get this done by the end of the year and I need to figure out how to do it. Can you throw that in the chat for us? And Sarah will make sure that she pings me and lets me know that. And then we can go ahead and cover that really quick today. This is going to be short and sweet. We don't want to take too much of your time. It is already getting to crazy season of Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so I know we've only got a few minutes here, but I do want to go over some of these things that I think can be helpful. And the last thing I want to mention is if you say, oh, we don't run any quotas in our company, it's not important. We have a company goal and, it doesn't really matter if people have individual quotas. That could be true. But this is something that I've learned. People in general love a goal to work toward. Currently, my toddler is 3, and if he's a good listener at school all week and stays on green, he's going to get a little tiny Paw Patrol toy. And, you got to do what you got to do. And it is motivating him every day. He tells me, I'm going to be a good listener today because I'm a good boy. And so like it translates into the workspace too. Like when we give people goals, they want to shoot for those goals and they want to exceed whatever we're placing in front of them. I know I'm that way. Our kids are that way. And so I think it's really, really helpful. So I'm going to jump right in to goals this afternoon and kind of go over what they look like in the system and how they can help you in your workflow. So right now I have a system open. I'm going to blow up my window here just a little bit to make it easier for everybody to see. I have a demo environment open for us today, and we're looking at the company view. And we have our pipeline, our closing ratio here. And then here I can see the quotas. Now I have the last 365 days. Pro tip, this is my favorite filter. If you're also looking at year-end numbers, something that's really great is you can actually type in this box and you could say current year. Let me see. Current year. Okay, so I can type in current year because since I'm talking about end of year reporting, you probably want to see the current year. So the current year, it goes backwards from January up to the last month of the year, which is nice. And then you can see month over month how you're doing on your goals. So the green bar on all of these columns is what you've accomplished against your goal. And the yellow bar is the quota. Now, since I'm looking at the company view, I'm looking at all quotas assigned to each individual in the company. Company quotas in Followup are assigned to individuals and individuals belong to your company, right? So you'll assign, if the goal is 10 million for your company this year in bid volume, then you'd have to divide that between the people that are bidding, and then you'd want that to total up to your total bid volume of that 10 million, right? So then if I changed my view and I looked for, I think this one here, let's see if Gretchen has a goal applied. You can see that Gretchen had a goal applied every single month for $1 million and then what she's accomplished against that goal. So you can look at it as a company view as a whole or as an individual goal. And then if I click in, I can actually see what she's bid against her goal month over month. Okay, so super, super simple concept. And then what I love about this annual view is I can come here and say, Gretchen, we need to have a conversation. You've only met 6.25% of your quota for the year. Obviously, this is a demo system, guys. So Gretchen, she's going to be okay. And then her quota for her contracts is only 1.25. Gretchen isn't going to be seeing 2026 in this company, I don't think. Okay,
Poor Gretchen.
oh yeah, we can have fun here today, right? So you can see like month, I love looking at this for the quarter at the end of each quarter, advising people to go, hey, check out how your team did on the last quarter. Are you guys on track to meet your goals? And I know some teams are very busy during the summer and the winter months are harder. So you'll have, higher quotas during those summer months when you don't have snow on the ground, and lower quotas on those months you have snow on the ground. We have a very effective tool to make it really, really easy to input that information. And then obviously this is a great place to see all of that information easily. So to update quotas and assign them, you do have to have administrative privileges in your system, or you have to have been given custom permissions that allow you to access the People tab and the quota information. So if you're in your system right now and you say, hey, Christine, I'm not seeing the same things you're seeing, it has to do with your permission level. Talk to whoever your Followup CRM admin is at your company, whoever your champion is, and they can help assign quotas. So if I come here to your name on the top right-hand corner, I'm going to hit company settings. Under the company settings is where I'm going to find the People tab over on the left menu. I'm going to hit the left menu, and then I'm going to have all of my users, right? Now here, I can come over here to my actions, and I can select, let me select who I want to see here. All right. And then I can come over here to my actions, and I can say all user quotas. So you have two options. You can individually edit each person's quota. I could come here to the person after selecting my team, and I could say user quota, and it'll open a page where I'm only allowed to edit and add quotas for this particular user. Now, my personal suggestion is to make this a lot easier on yourself and come over here to the actions tab over on the right here, and then you're going to hit all user quotas. So if I hit all user quotas here, I can see all of the user quotas in the system. Giving it a second to load here. Okay, so then I have all of the users that are in the system and the quotas that are currently assigned. Now the quota that displays on this page, because there's so many different quotas you have a bid volume, contract volume, gross margin volume for bid and contract. You have a bid count and a contract count and an hour count. So because we can't display all of that on this page, what you see displayed on this page is the contract volume quote, okay? And then if there's no quote assigned, it'll say set goal. Now you can change the year. So let's say you're prepping for 2026 and you want to assign new goals for 2026. You can do that by clicking 2026. So let's say that I wanted to assign a new goal to Doug for 2026. I can click on the set goal, or let's say I have multiple people that I'm assigning the same goal. Now, if I'm assigning different goals to each individual, then I need to go into each individual person's goal. But if I'm assigning the same goal to more than one person, I can do it here. So I could select Doug and Jason, and then I could hit set goal. From here, I have the opportunity, and I can change here if I want, like if I want to change the date again, I can. I can assign how many bids I want them to put out each month. So let's say I want them to do 5 bids a month.
Okay, let's give the system just a moment to come back online. It looks like it froze for some of us, but no worries. We can pick back up. I see that Jerry had a question in there, and great, Isaiah has already jumped back in and answered that. Easy fix there. So as we're looking at this, if you have any questions at all, feel free to put those in the chat. And I can kind of recap what Christine has shared so far. So we were talking about some of her favorite views being 365 days previous. But if you're looking to do year-end reporting, it might make sense to change that so that you're looking at current year for 2025. There's Christine. Hello.
Sorry, guys,
You're
my
good.
Zoom decided it didn't like me anymore and shut down completely.
It's okay. We're just keeping people on their toes. I was just doing a little recap of what we've covered so far.
Okay,
And
perfect.
then, yes, another thing that I really like that Christine brought up was that you need to consider seasonality. So quotas will vary month to month depending on weather and other things you have going on. But she was showing us how in here you can kind of set that per month bid count, and we can pick up right there.
Perfect. So what I like to talk about the bid volume and the contract volume. This, if you know what your closing ratio is, then you know what you need to be bidding every month to win what you want to win, right? But if you don't know what your closing ratio is, then a good place to start is between 15 and 25%. So 20% is a great place to start. So if my closing ratio is 20%, and let's say I want to win $1 million a month, then I have to bid 5 million, guys. It's simple math. And if this gets confusing, ChatGPT is really, really helpful. So just throw those numbers into ChatGPT. They'll
The
divide it
new
by 12 months
calculator.
for you,
Yes.
and it'll just take care of all of the months for you at the same time instead of having to do it individually. It's amazing. Okay, so then I'm assigning my contract value based on a 20% closing ratio at $1 million, my bid volume at 5 million, and then I can hit this button. I call this the magic button, apply to the remainder of the year. And so when I hit apply to the remainder of the year, it's going to go ahead and assign this goal for every month to the end of the year. Now, back to Sarah's point of seasonality. If there are certain months that I don't want this goal applied, then I need to do one of two things. Maybe I want this in 10 of the months, but 2 of the months I don't. I could go ahead and apply it to the remainder of the year and then just edit those other 2 months, or I can assign month by month. It's totally up to you. Now, a further layer on this is you also have a quota breakdown. So if you are a company that has multiple offices or divisions and you want to assign a partial quota to an office or division, you can do that. So I could say, I want this all to be assigned to the Arizona office. I could say 50% or 100%, like, or whatever percentage I want, I can choose and then assign the quota accordingly. Furthermore, I could add a contract type percentage as well. And as I save these things, whoops, I have to put 0 there. It doesn't like it when I leave things blank. Let's do 100% of the quota to Arizona. I'm going to hit the add button and then I'm going to hit save. So then what you're going to notice here as I do that, that Doug and Jason's profiles will be updated here on the back end with $1 million quota that's going to be visible on this page because that is the contract volume quota. So as I go down to Doug, let's see here. I guess I typed in the numbers wrong. I'm not sure what. Let's look at Jason here. Well, guys, I think in between losing my Zoom connection, we had a little problem here. So let's just do this one more time.
Oh, Jerry thinks that you set for 2026.
Oh, you're right, Jerry. See, Jerry, it's always
We're
about
on
the
top of it.
filters. And Jerry, he's
I
the
think
OG.
Jerry works for Followup now.
I think he should be the webinar host. Okay, so Jerry's absolutely right. You see my $1 million quota for Jason and you see it for Doug here. Now, if I go to the dashboard, obviously we're not going to see it for right here, but I could do next year. Next year, here we go. So if I do next year and I select Doug and Jason, and I hit apply, then it's going to show me their quotas for next year of what we've got going on. So I assign them each 5 million to the bid volume and $1 million each for the contract volume. And so it's rolling up together because I have both people selected and I've got my filter date correct. Any questions regarding the quotas? Okay, great. Now I want to hop into a couple of other things that I find really, really helpful for end of the year reporting. So for end of the year reporting, there's a couple of things that I find people like to do. You like to send out a holiday card with everyone you've done business with in the last year. So there's a really, really easy way to do that, especially if you want all the addresses on there too. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. One, you can come to the reports tab and you can do an Excel export, and this will show you so you have the Excel client, which this is based on the bid. I'm sorry, this one here. This is the one you want, the Excel export bid 2. And I'm going to do current year, and I'll do it for the whole company. I don't want just one individual, and I'm going to hit get report. It's going to download an Excel for you. Pro tip, you're going to hit refresh here, and then it's going to go right here to the notification bell, and you don't have to wait for your email to come through, and then you can download the report. Then you're going to have an export of everyone you did a project with in the year, or everyone you bid work to or entered a project for in the current year. That's the date, the time frame we ran the report for. And so then I can see all the information here. And so we have the client information on this report, which is super important because you probably aren't sending it to the project address. You're probably wanting to send it to the client address. So if you have your client addresses in here, or you want their emails, all that information should be on here. And then you have what you need to send out end of year holiday communications.
That's so good. Yeah, either a digital card, like you said, in people's inboxes, or if you want to do something physical that they can touch. And I think that's, playing on words here, another good touch point. Let's say it's a proposal that you didn't win this last year, but you're still staying top of mind. And in 2026, you might have better favor with them.
100%. The other thing I like to talk about is doing the client sales history report. I love this report. And this can show you like everyone you did business with as well. Now, this report isn't going to have all those addresses, but it does help you focus in on the people that are giving you the most work. Because I think as we build relationships with people year over year, we remember like, oh, I've done a ton of work with Sarah. I've been working with her for 20 years. I do so much work with Sarah. But then maybe something's changed at Sarah's company and you aren't actually doing as much work with Sarah as you thought anymore. And so when you run this report, it kind of brings that accountability in and says, oh, I bid 10 million to Sarah this year, but we only won 500,000. What's going on? Let me nurture that relationship or give her a call and find out what's going on so I can, not waste all of those estimating dollars I spent on bidding to her by not getting any projects.
Or
So,
even just starting the conversation, like you're saying, Christine, is there might be something that on this side I haven't communicated to you, but if I reach out and say like, hey, thanks for being a valued customer or a client for the last several years, and then we can start that dialogue. I also like this for filtering. So if you want to break it in, okay, who do we send an email to, a physical card to, or maybe even a nicer gift, let's say a bag of popcorn, a bottle of wine, something like that, you can see where the money has been going and what might have the greatest return on investment.
exactly. So like if we look at this one, obviously this is a demo environment. So we've got some funny numbers here, but I want to make sure I'm reaching out to 360 full service construction based on that $5 million contract, especially when I'm having a lot lower numbers here. So I'm going to want to make sure that I'm having communication with the right people and I'm spending my time and my dollars for these marketing touches in the right places. And so this is a great way to see where those marketing dollars and where those touches need to be focused, because those are the people that you need to foster relationships with. And once again, this one was called the client sales history. And the previous report that I just ran was called the Excel export bid 2. Okay, so this one's going to show you everyone that you bid to. And then the Excel client sales export is going to show you everyone you actually sold work to. So that's the difference in those couple of reports.
And another use case, Christine, that I was just thinking about in real time, you might not have a board that you report to, but even just like internal stakeholders, employees, if you want to say like, hey, this year we did X amount of new contracts, or we worked with X amount of new contractors, other companies, or this is our percentage of growth. Those are encouraging things to share with your team at the end of the year and are, again, motivating, get them excited about their quotas for 2026.
100%. And so what I want people to take away today is like, there are meaningful ways that you can use follow-up to build connection with the people that you have done work with in 2025 and to prepare how to nurture and foster those relationships for 2026. And then two, adding a layer of accountability to your team with quotas is going to benefit your company as a whole and drives ownership of what people own within your company and drives incentive to work harder and build more. So if you guys need any help regarding quotas or reaching out to customers regarding work that they've done with you this year, please reach out to us. We're here to support you, and we're looking forward to connecting with you all soon. That's all I have for today, Sarah.
That's awesome. If anybody wants to drop any last minute questions in the chat, we'll leave that open for just another moment. This was really rich. We covered a lot of stuff, and I think that now is the time. If you wait until November, it will really feel like a big task and it'll feel overwhelming. Just giving yourself a couple extra weeks makes it feel all buttoned up. And these things you can also schedule ahead of time. I know that I've recently worked with a mail house, so having to deliver that list to them so that they can put things through the United States Postal Service and get it out, like, just leave yourself that grace period, that wiggle room, so you can show up the way that you want to at the end of the year. And I love what you said, Christine, about getting specialized help if you need it. We try to do these webinars, and sometimes we are painting a broad picture to help everyone out. But if you have a really specific use case, let us know. We can manipulate the system to work for your needs. I don't see any more questions. So, like always, we have recorded this. We will put this up on YouTube. Tomorrow, you will receive an email from Zoom that has the recording. If there's anyone else from your office that you're like, oh, they should listen to this really quickly, then you can share that link with them. Even if they registered but weren't able to attend today, they will receive that as well. And then as far as upcoming events, we do this customer success webinar on the third Thursday of every month. And when you get your admin emails and things like that from us, the CS team does a great job of letting you know when these are coming up. We are already thinking about 2026 on our side at Followup CRM, specifically February. We are excited for our user conference. The 12th and 13th, we're going to be down there in HQ Fort Lauderdale at the Hard Rock. I want to emphasize again, this is my first user conference with Followup CRM, and it is so uniquely special that we do not charge for this. So if you're a current customer of Followup, you get to come for free. You cover travel and accommodations, but we do not charge for the sessions. And we've got a great lineup. We've got some really great speakers who are going to share their own use cases. And it's going to be fun because our team always has fun when we're together. And hopefully you see a little bit of that here on Zoom, but in person, it's really magnified.
That's true. I hope Jerry's coming. Jerry, you coming? You coming? You coming? He's
Let us
no G.
know.
He's been, I think, to every one, maybe. Or a lot.
And there's incentives for signing up early. We are going to be picking those early registrants. Yes, of course. Jerry was like, don't doubt me. But if you register early, we are going to be taking people to do room upgrades for, move up higher in the tower, get the better views. We're going to be giving away merchandise so you can follow up in your home office. It's going to be great. I always just have to plug that because it's on our minds. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Christine, for being a great host, like always.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.